Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. It is Monday, December 1, 2025. We are alive and well, and for that we give God thanks. Good morning to you if you're listening on the 90 FM band, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7, or 90.9 on your FM dial. We really appreciate your company there. If you are listening and watching on our YouTube channel, good morning to you. The channel is Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. Go on over there and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I want to say good morning to those in the YouTube chat, saying good morning to Merlene Russell, who I am seeing first in the YouTube chat this morning. Am I correct? Not sure. The YouTube chat is not really moving. But yes, I'm seeing Merlene Russell, also seeing Rick NYCJM. Roger Smart, good morning to you. Yes, Mr. Overthinker. Happy new month to you as well. Errol Townsend, top of the morning to you. Honest Campbell Murray, Zazzy Girl, Rider 40. Good morning to all of you. Also seeing Hugh Donaldson in the YouTube chat. Sylvia Corley, as well as MS Carlene. Is this Margaret Joman? Good morning to you. The Passport Life, Edgar Morgan, and all the others over there on YouTube. Good morning. If you're listening from our mobile app, available for free on the Google Play and the Apple App Store, that's Revo News. Good morning. And those on our website, listening or watching, revonews.ai. Top of the morning to you as well. Just before I jump into Immigration Mondays, just have a few things to say. Just one thing really. I had the chance to be in Hanover on Sunday. I went to Hopewell, specifically the Hopewell Missionary Church. The Hopewell Missionary Church lost its entire roof and most of the contents of the church. So all the benches, equipment, everything that was inside is pretty much damaged, done. They were worshiping on the outside, some under a tent, some just under a tree in the open, in what I believe is their parking lot. And it was very heartening to hear the pastor, Reverend Webster, talking about what the church has been doing. And I listened keenly because while he was speaking, he spoke about the church members going to neighboring parishes. He said they assisted one family getting their roof completely up, one roof partially up, and they're intending to go and build a structure, a temporary structure for another family. He spoke about donations that the church has been receiving and how those donations will be spent. And each time he spoke about how the donations will be spent, he spoke about assisting others, assisting the community, sending some to here, packages to be given here. And it was heartening to see that the church lost its entire roof, all the contents of the church gone. They're worshiping on the outside. And all the work that they've been doing so far, I'm sure they've started minor cleanup activities, because you could see that they moved some board on the outside, and so there was some cleanup done at the church. But most of what he said was about helping others. And I believe, it's commendable and it's very important for especially a community like the church to know that your purpose for being here is for others, first and foremost. The building, the four walls, it helps, for you to have somewhere to worship. But it's important that the people are okay. And they were using a generator, and you could see extensions plugged in all around and phones being charged, and it was just good to see. And I knew that I had to talk about it before I went into anything. So kudos to the leadership and the membership of Hopewell Missionary Church and all the other churches across Jamaica who are helping. I went there with my own church, members from my church, First Missionary Church. So yes, that's that on that. It's Immigration Mondays. Let's begin. right, inside Immigration Mondays, we are joined by U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee and Canadian Immigration Consultant Nadine Mahabir. Sorry, ladies, for taking up most of your intro time. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning, Nora. Good morning, Nadine. Good morning to our wonderful listeners and viewers. Happy Monday.
Good morning, Miss Nora. Good morning, Miss Lee. And of course, good morning to our nationwide family. Thanks for joining us.
All right, and inside Immigration Mondays, we get an update on immigration related matters from Opal and Nadine concerning the United States of America and also Canada. After we get that update, we usually open the phone lines for you. If you have any questions, immigration related, we take those questions from the phone lines, and also those who are unable to call, we take your questions from the YouTube chat as well. Gonna jump right into it, starting with you, Opal.
All right. I think mine is going to go a little bit longer because I got a lot of gifts for Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Not good gifts.
Oh.
I mean, I don't
I got
know.
excited there.
This administration seemed to pack us, us immigration attorneys with a lot of stuff over Thanksgiving. So you want me to jump into it or after the break?
Whoa, I just didn't even realize it was up on the break. All right, let's take the break and then we come back and you jump right into it after that.
Okay.
Decorate and redecorate your space with water-resistant, colorful, and fast-drying paints from Edgechem Paints. The time by Edgechem Paints, changing lives 1 gallon at a time, is
9:15.
In recognition of World HIV/AIDS Day, Charlie's Pharmacy is offering free HIV saliva self-test kits to you. Do your own HIV saliva test in the comfort of your home. If you're in doubt, test it out. Know your HIV status in 3 easy steps. Collect your free kit at Charlie's Pharmacy at 1 West Queen Street, downtown. Take it home and swab your gums. Read your own results in just 20 minutes. Collect a free HIV self-test kit or call Charlie's Pharmacy at 876-787-5025. Offer ends on December 8th.
Public opinion.
Stop this foolish about this GLP and PMP business. We are Jamaican.
Different people.
It's not a matter of a JLP or a PMP. I think it's more like where it is that you think you're comfortable, what support you can afford to make the country better.
Different views.
Most entertainers, they're not amenable to management, so the only thing that can ultimately structure them is the court and the prison.
Public opinion. The voice of the people at 6:25 p.m. weekdays during Nationwide at 5. Tune into Nationwide at 6:25 p.m. for Public Opinion, where the people's views matter.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I am Nora Gay Banton. We are joined by U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee and Canadian Immigration Consultant Nadine Mahabir, and they are going to give the updates now. Very valuable information we usually get at this point in the program. So listen up. Over to you, Opal.
All right, thank you, Nora. So most people already saw in the news where we had an attack, it was in Washington, D.C., a shooting of our National Guards, and one of them was killed. And so it allegedly occurred by one of somebody from Afghanistan who was granted asylum this year during this administration, but had entered the United States under the Biden administration when, friends of Afghanistan who were helping to the militaries back then. And so what the president has now said, we're going to be halting a lot of things. We're going to be, number one, we're going to be re-examining green cards who were issued to people. And here he's saying from 19 countries of concern. Those 19 countries of concern, yes, they're mostly African countries. We're talking about Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo. We have Eritrea. Haiti is included. Iran, Libya, of course, Afghanistan, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Burundi, Cuba is included. Venezuela is also included, and Sierra Leone, Togo, and so 19 countries total. So people who have already gotten their green cards, the administration will be re-examining that. Even though it may not affect, other Caribbean countries or so, the important thing to take away from here is that the administration, any administration, can go ahead and re-examine. So not because you think you're a permanent resident, that could change at any given time. Also, as I stated before, the asylum applications, as a matter of fact, USCIS, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, has now halted all asylum decisions because, they're going to be scrutinizing, they're going to be dotting their I's, crossing their T's to make sure when people said that they are facing persecution in their home countries, to make sure that they are legitimately are facing those persecutions that they claim. On our friend side now, our neighbor side, Haiti, this is a big one. Temporary protective status. I know we were asking for temporary protective status for our nationals in Jamaica, and we haven't seen that happening yet based on the recent hurricane.
Right.
But TPS was granted to people in Haiti, stemming from way back in the 2010 earthquake that killed hundreds of thousands. Well, the Trump administration has now announced that they're going to be halting it. It takes effect on February 3rd, actually. They will require Haitian temporary protective status holders to leave the country. So people who have been here, who were protected under this TPS, they're now having to leave come February 3rd. There's some critics of this and said, listen, it's supposed to be temporary, not permanent. And some people have been having it, it's been going on from 2010. Some people maybe didn't have it from 2010, had it, in recent years, and they have been renewing. But the truth is, Nora, that the conditions in Haiti has not even gotten better. As a matter of fact, isn't it true that
Worsened in some sections, yes.
I can't even say, because the other wars and everything that's been going on there with the gang violence and stuff and the attacks, that it's not even safe. We see where the United States and other countries are warning their citizens not to even go there. Planes are being, fired upon, for example. Cruise ships can't even land in Haiti. And yet still these people who are temporarily protected in the United States, they're being told that, guess what? They have to go back into that right now come February 3rd.
Wow. All right. So lots happening in the United States right now, and I know Jamaica is not on that list for green card. What is it now? The re-examining or reviewing of the green cards, but you can easily understand why Jamaicans who are in the United States with green cards would be worried, because it would only take for the administration to say, well, add Jamaica to the list. That's all it would take. So I can understand for those who would be worried, and you would think that you now have your green card and sigh of relief, but here we are. We hope that it doesn't get to that point, and we will continue to watch. And of course, each time Opal comes, she will give us the updates. Nadine, I hope things are a little bit calmer in Canada.
I think so, Nora. Boy, those are some tough pills to swallow.
Yeah.
Especially for persons who have already gotten their green cards, and now applications are going to be reevaluated again. That's pretty rough and stressful. Nora, I want to mention real quickly, I know I don't have a whole lot of time, but for the Citizenship Act that we spoke about a couple weeks ago. So remember, for those of you who were listening back then, up until, I guess, a few months ago, if you are a Canadian citizen and you have a child who is born outside of Canada, then that child may qualify for citizenship by descent.
Right.
So that child would then be able to apply for their Canadian citizenship certificate, then their Canadian passport. Now, if that child who was born outside of Canada, who is now a Canadian citizen, has a child born outside of Canada, normally that before now, this child would not have qualified for citizenship by descent. Immigration Canada is in the process of changing the rules to allow the second generation born outside of Canada to qualify for citizenship by descent. However, Nora, one of the criterions is that the parent who was born outside of Canada would need to show that they have been living in Canada for a total of 1,095 days. I'm not seeing over what time period that parent would have had to live in Canada for 1,095 days, but it's saying cumulative total number of days is 1,095 days. To put it into context a little bit, Nora, for you to qualify for citizenship, let's say you came here as a permanent resident, okay? You didn't come here as, well, of course, your parents were not Canadian, so you're sponsored yourself, or maybe, you were sponsored by a spouse or a parent, and you got your Canadian permanent residency. To qualify as a citizen when you're in Canada, you need to be living here for a total of 1,095 days within the last 4 years, preceding the date of your application. So I thought it was a little bit interesting that they're also saying if you're born outside of Canada to a Canadian parent and now you want to pass on your citizenship to your child who is born outside of Canada, you need to be physically present or have lived in Canada for 1,095 days. So we'll see what other details they provide, Nora. But for now, that's my update. Thank you.
All right. So that's 1,095 days is about 3 years. 3 years thereabout. So I mean, I guess that would work for some people. So for some, maybe not.
Right, because there are a lot of persons who may be Canadian citizens, but they really haven't lived in Canada because maybe their parents are overseas, so they've been residing with their parents pretty much all their lives and have established themselves outside of Canada.
Absolutely, and you've just accepted the citizenship because it comes, but you've never lived in Canada. But let's see, as you said, the more details if they will come on that. All right, we are at the point in the program where we will take your calls. If you have any immigration related questions, you can give us a call. The numbers to call 876-630-9371, and that goes up to 4. That's 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-6730. Those are the numbers to call. And you can also leave your questions in the YouTube chat section. We are live on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. So you can leave your questions in the YouTube chat as well. Opal, while we were on our post Melissa Relief OB on Friday, one of our listeners asked me a question, and she said I should ensure that I ask you. So I'm ensuring that I ask you right now. Okay, so she says her daughter is filing for herself and her husband, and they used to get frequent updates via email. She said like every 2 weeks or something like that. They used to get updates. And the last update they got, it was information regarding her husband. But there was nothing concerning her. And she's just wondering if that's anything to be concerned about, or what next steps can she take to ensure that nothing is going wrong.
I wouldn't say it's anything to concern her, because remember, there are two separate applications.
Right.
And to be honest, it could be two different people who are actually
dealing with them.
dealing with each one. And so it could be a good thing if she's not getting any updates. Maybe there's nothing wrong with hers, and there could be that they need additional information on one. So it's important for me to know which part of the process they're at. This is one of them that's not, it doesn't take years, because the child who's 21 filing for their parent, normally within about a year or two, they will be able to migrate. So it depends on if this is at the National Visa Center, they're just waiting for an interview.
Okay. All right. So nothing to be too concerned about yet. All right. We have a caller on the line. Harvey, I'm going to ask you to hold. We are up on the break, so let's take this break and come back with the call.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers provides quality insurance coverage and risk management services. The time by Spectrum Insurance Brokers Limited, setting the industry standards, is
9:30.
In recognition of World HIV/AIDS Day, Charlie's Pharmacy is offering free HIV saliva self-test kits to you. Do your own HIV saliva test in the comfort of your home. If you're in doubt, test it out. Know your HIV status in 3 easy steps. Collect your free kit at Charlie's Pharmacy at 1 West Queen Street, downtown. Take it home and swab your gums. Read your own results in just 20 minutes. Collect a free HIV self-test kit or call Charlie's Pharmacy at 876-787-5025. Offer ends on December 8th.
Good morning, good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I am Nora Gay Banton. It's Immigration Mondays. We're joined by U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee and Canadian Immigration Consultant Nadine Mahabir. And we are taking your calls now. The numbers to call once again, 876-630-9371. And that goes up to 4 and 618-6730. We have Harvey on the line. Good morning, Harvey.
And good morning to your immigration officers. All right, my question, I'm going to ask my question. I'm going to hang up and listen to the answer. All right, I have been employed in the government sector in Jamaica for 37 years. I have applied for early retirement, and I wish to go off on another phase of my life. The question I need to ask, though, is how possible it is for me to apply to live in Canada. Is that possible for a person at 57 years of age to apply for his own status in Canada? I want to hang up and listen.
Hi, good morning. Okay, so when you say come to live in Canada, I mean, nor did he hang up already? Or
I think he did. Okay.
Okay, do you have a partner in Canada, or who do you have in Canada?
No, I don't. Well, really, I have children in Canada, but I'm not going to ask them to apply for me or anything, and I don't have a partner in Canada. But I have children there who live there.
Okay, and how old are those children?
No, I mean, I think one is 30 and one is about 33.
Okay, so the thing with the children or parent sponsorship for Canada is that category is not always open. So even if they did want to sponsor you, they actually have to wait until Immigration Canada reopens the parent sponsorship category. And they also need to show that they meet a certain amount of income, or that they have a certain amount of income. Because to sponsor your parents, you need to meet income requirements. Now, if you had a spouse or you have a spouse in Canada, they can sponsor you. In terms of you sponsoring yourself, you would now need to look at what province it is that you're planning to live in and what are the requirements for living in that particular province. Where in Canada are your children living?
I think he left, but he didn't seem very interested in going through the route of getting his children to get him there. He sounded as if he was adamant on getting there himself.
No, I understand that. But see, for Manitoba, Nora, if you have, even if it is a friend in Manitoba who's willing to support your application by providing certain documents, you may qualify to live in Manitoba. Because under the federal, so in Canada, you have the federal programs, which means you can live anywhere in Canada under those programs, or you have the provincial nominee programs. In Jamaica, it's parishes. In Canada, it's provinces. So under the provincial nominee programs, depending on where he would want to go in Canada, he may qualify under a provincial nominee program. Normally, you may need to get a job offer from an employer, which means that the employer has to go through the process of a labor market application. They need to show that they had difficulty finding Canadian workers, and that is why they're offering the job to a foreign worker. Or he would have to come up as a student. Nor, yes, I know he said he's 57, but you're never too old to learn.
That's true.
So he could go to school, qualify for a work permit once he's completed his studies, and then look at the permanent residency options. So it may take him a few steps to get to permanent residency, but it is possible.
All right, so I hope he was able to hear the rest of that response. We have another caller on the line. Franklin, good morning.
Good morning, Miss Nora.
Good morning, Franklin.
Good morning, Miss Mahabir.
Good morning, Franklin. How are you?
Okay, and good morning, Miss Opa. My question is, Miss Opa, right? Not in terms of the what you call it, the CR1 visa or the B1 visa, right? The B1 visa, what I'm particularly interested in, which I'm asking if you could file an application to the embassy for me regarding to a B1 visa consultation fee.
Right, so that's a visiting visa, sir. And so yes, we do apply or assist people with their visiting visa applications. You just have to contact our office because there's questions and information that we would need from you in order to submit that application. For example, your employment history, your family history, both in Jamaica and in the United States. Have you ever applied for a visiting visa before?
No, not on the term. I have a visa before, but they say like for the visa that I had acquired, it's quite similar to the one that I had before, the B1 visa.
Right, a B1, B2 is a business tourist visa. So do you still have do you have any visa right now? Any visa at all right now?
Yeah, I have a visa before, but it had expired. But
okay, how long ago your visa expired?
They say they gave me 5 years to apply, but it's been 30 years now.
30?
Yeah.
It's been 30 years since your visa expired?
Yes.
Oh boy. Oh, so yeah. So you definitely.
They said that it's best if I could like bring like have a what's the name someone file the application such as yourself and come in.
No, sir, it sounds to me, I know you sound a little bit confused, but it's best just to do a consultation. We'll go through, you don't have to tell me on air, but I want to know where you work, how your family members, where do they reside, to see whether or not you have strong enough ties. To get that B1, B2, you will need to show that you have strong ties to Jamaica to show them that if they give you that visa, again, you will not run off in the United States. You will not work in the United States. You will not do anything contrary to your visa. So we would need to do a consultation so we could help you with this application, okay?
Okay.
All right, so continue to listen. We'll give out our numbers and then you can contact me.
All right, so keep listening. Is it Franklin? Franklin, keep listening. You'll hear the numbers soon. Just a couple more questions on our YouTube chat coming in. This one is asking Opal about a fiancé visa, the steps to apply, and how long it takes.
All right, so the fiancé visa, of course, you want to submit the I-129F. It takes about a year. You will need to show, though, that you have met up with this person at least once within the last 2 years. So not somebody who you have met online and never ever saw, and that person filed for you. That won't work. And more importantly, you also have to show that you intend to get married within 90 days upon entering the United States. You have to get married to that person, not to anybody else. And if the relationship doesn't work between you and that person, you have to leave because you will not be able to adjust through somebody else. Unlike if you were married to that person and then migrate, and then God forbid if the marriage stop, it's not working anymore, or you start being abused, then you could have ended that marriage, you could have dated somebody else, and you could have continued. But it does not work that way with a fiance visa. Fiance visa, you're stuck with that one person who filed that fiance visa on your behalf. But yes, it typically takes between a year to year and a half or so. But they could contact your office and we could give them more in-depth details.
90-day fiance. All right.
Right. And you see all that drama on that 90-day fiance, right?
Oh boy. Here's another one. It says, would you recommend, Opal, for an H-1B visa holder to reach out to their sponsors with next steps, i.e. filing papers for green card?
It is, because this is the H-1B is where it's an employer that is sponsoring you. So you want to make sure you're in good grace with the employer, because the employer doesn't need to do that additional step. So sometimes you have to nudge them, Nora, a little nudge. I said, what's going on here? Because it's not something that you file on your own. It's your employer who files this for you.
All right. This question here from Chris on YouTube for you, Nadine. It says, what is the age barrier for a child living outside of Canada for a parent to try? He says, try and take them up, I'm assuming, for a parent to sponsor that child.
For Canada, Nora, the dependent age is 22 years of age or under. So once the child is 22 years or younger, then the parent can sponsor them. Unless the child has a mental or physical condition that requires them, of course, to be dependent on the parent.
Okay. So 22 is that age. All right. Opal, here's one.
And Nora, sorry, real quickly, I know that the previous caller for Canada was saying he doesn't want his child or children to sponsor him. Mm-hmm. But Nora, a lot of times, okay, if a client comes to me, you have to look at the full picture. And if the client doesn't have an easier option than to be sponsored or to qualify for residency, unless the relationship is really, really strained with the child or children, then you have to look at all the options.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say. Maybe the relationship is not as, in a state where he's able to reach out for them to assist. But who knows? If you're still listening, then you can reach out, and Nadine can assess your entire situation and see which option may be best for you. Here's another question on YouTube for you, Opal. This one says, there was an incorrect date of birth on my, is this I-79C? So I logged into my USCIS account and waited in the queue until my turn, which I gave the correct information to the agent and was told that the correction was done. I'm not sure if you're getting the question out of this. Open.
Yes, I see it.
Okay.
So then there's no problem then. So they updated it, because what happened, the I-797C is just a receipt. So if you file something, an I-130, they actually tell you to look at the information, look at the receipt, and if there's any information that's incorrect, you contact USCIS. So it looked like this person did, and it was corrected. So I don't think they have any issues here.
The same person went on to ask if those persons are real agents or is it AI? They're not sure. Well, real or AI, it was corrected. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you know what? That's a good point, and people must be very careful because there are some fraudulent things going on here. But if you're sure you were indeed speaking with a USCIS agent, then
All right. Well, I'm going to allow you ladies to give your contact information. We haven't done that since the show began. So go ahead, Opal, and then Nadine, and then we'll go to the break.
thank you, Nora. For Opal Lee, the phone number in Jamaica is 876-854-3599. That's 876-854-3599. In the United States, it's 954-358-2020. That's 954-358-2020. You can also catch us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and that's at Flowjam Legal, FLOJAMLEGAL. Over to you, Nadine.
Thanks, Opal. For Nadine Mahabir, our contact number in Jamaica, it is 876-754-4391. That's 876-754-4391. In Canada, it is 1-416-249-5885. That's 1-416-249-5885. Our email address is info@cdnintl.com. Thank you, Miss Nora. Over to you.
Thank you, ladies. And we're up on the break. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will take more of your calls and your questions in the YouTube chat.
Fill all your prescriptions, get cosmetics and other pharmaceutical items at Mannings Hill Pharmacy, located at 34A Mannings Hill Road, Kingston. Telephone 924-6280. At Mannings Hill Pharmacy, they stock all the hard-to-get medication. The time by Mannings Hill Pharmacy is
9:45.
Every road, every ride, Burt's Auto Parts and KYB have you covered. From October 24, 2025 to January 30, 2026, get 15% off when you purchase 2 or more KYB shocks at any Burt's location. Plus, enjoy 10% off installation at Burt's Service Center. And for a limited time, you also get a gift with every KYB shocks purchase. So whether it's pothole, corners, or smooth highways, ride in comfort and confidence with KYB shocks from Burt's Auto Parts. Conditions apply. It hurts if you don't check Burt's.
In recognition of World HIV/AIDS Day, Charlie's Pharmacy is offering free HIV saliva self-test kits to you. Do your own HIV saliva test in the comfort of your home. If you're in doubt, test it out. Know your HIV status in 3 easy steps. Collect your free kit at Charlie's Pharmacy at 1 West Queen Street, downtown. Take it home and swab your gums. Read your own results in just 20 minutes. Collect a free HIV self-test kit or call Charlie's Pharmacy at 876-787-5025. Offer ends on December 8th.
Good morning, good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I am Nora Gay Banton, and we are taking your calls. We have U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee on the line and a Canadian immigration consultant as well, Nadine Mahabir. We are taking your calls, as I said before. The numbers to call 876-630-9371, and that goes up to 4 and 618-8255. No, that's not the number. It's 618-6730. Still getting used to that. All right. So we have some more questions in the YouTube chat. So I'll go to those before we go back to the phone lines. This one is for you, Opal. It says, I would like to know if my spouse can travel to the U.S. while the I-130 is in process.
Oh, absolutely. So the I-130, that is just an immigrant petition that's filed by the U.S. citizen or permanent resident spouse. So in the meanwhile, while the beneficiary has a visiting visa or another visa to enter, they could always go ahead and enter and return to their home country. That visa is usually good until such time as it has been canceled. Usually it is canceled at the time when they're giving you that immigrant visa. So if you go to the interview for your spouse filing for you and it is successful, then they will cancel that and reward you with the immigrant visa if everything went well.
All right. This next person is asking if R1 visas are still a thing.
Oh yes, that's a religious visa and they are a thing.
What exactly do you have to do to qualify for an R1 visa?
You're interested in Nora? I'm just joking.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I qualify. Let's hear it.
Oh, so for example, they're pastors or religious leaders, for example. They want to enter the United States and help set up a church or do something, and they're intending to enter for that specific purpose. They have to show the financial part of it, show exactly what they'll be doing, what their position will be in the ministry, and yeah, there's a lot more detail. But yeah.
Okay, all right. Really and truly for pastors and those religious
It doesn't have to be a pastor.
well,
but it could
religious
be
leaders.
Religious, exactly.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that, Opal. We have a caller on the line. Did you say Kimon? Kimon, good morning.
Hello, pleasant morning. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm fine. I have a quick question. My other half, his father filed for him and his daughter. She's 17, so I'm trying to find out, is it that he could travel without her, or they have to travel together?
Okay, good morning. This is for the United States, by the way?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it's for your partner, and who filed for him?
The father.
His
father. Okay,
Yes, his
and you want to
father.
know if he had to travel with who else? You want to know?
The
Because you said
daughter.
the father,
Without her.
his daughter?
Yes.
Okay, so assuming that a visa number is currently available, and you're talking about migrating, right? Not just traveling
Yes.
and visa in the meanwhile.
No, man, migration.
Okay, migrating. So no, the derivative does not have to travel with they could do a follow to join, depending on what the situation is, if the child does not wish to migrate at this time.
Okay.
Maybe have them do a consultation, and then we can assist them with the process. If it is that the child is just not ready to migrate, and the father just want to migrate without him, without the child.
Okay. On the thing, it says that they have until January to leave.
Right, and I think that this person should do a consultation, because here's the thing: even though they have until January, I've said this numerous times on this program, that between now and January, if anything should happen, and to the father who's filing for them, that application is going to be dead, done.
Okay,
So
so could I
until they
have-
leave, they're not, and so even for the child, that child could migrate, be a permanent resident, but doesn't have to, stay. They could do the back and forth and put stuff in place, but there's stuff that can be done. So be very careful that if they really want to migrate, they should really migrate, and then or do a consultation, because again, each case is different.
Okay, could I have the number for your office?
Just continue to listen. We're going to be giving it out short again, I think.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
You're welcome.
Opal, I just a follow-up question for the daughter who was also on that filing. She would be able to migrate. Say, for example, I think probably she's in school and still, finishing up school. Can she migrate, say, probably in December here, and then come back and finish school?
Exactly, and a lot of people do it, but I'm very careful with what I'm saying, because you're really supposed to be migrating and living in the United States. But remember how I always said permanent resident, you're not supposed to let 6 months catch you outside the United States. So people have been doing this back and forth thing,
Right.
or they could file the I-131 for permission to start, as long as they've migrated first. So the important migrate first. Then you can also file the I-131 for permission to stay outside the United States for at least 2 years, so they don't bother you, and it doesn't affect your green card status or your permanent resident status. Because again, a lot of people use that when they're finishing up a job, they're working with the government and they're under contract, or for school, right? Education, they have to finish up something for another year or two. So there are different ways. The important thing, just migrate first, and then
Work it
then
out
sort-
after that.
Exactly.
All right, here's a question from YouTube. This person is saying they called, they asked an agent what the cost was for the renewal of a U.S. visa. They were told $450, asking for some clarification on that.
Right, I'm not going to speak about any agent. I'm not sure if an agent is charging some additional stuff or anything like that. We're not aware of that. But it's still the 185. Of course, if for the $250 fee, if that is going to effect, then so be it. Then they will know from the embassy. But an agent is not supposed to be charging. Well, I'm not going to talk about what agents are charging.
Unless there's some exorbitant additional fee, the cost, according to what you know, Opal, is still 185.
Correct.
All right. And I think that's where we're going to leave it this morning for the questions. I'm going to allow you ladies to give your contact information once more, Opal, and then Nadine.
All right, thank you, Nora. So Opal Lee, the phone number in Jamaica is 876-854-3599. That's 876-854-3599. In the United States, it's 954-358-2020. That's 954-358-2020. You may find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Flowjam Legal. That's FLOJAMLEGAL. Have a wonderful rest of the week, everyone. Over to you, Nadine.
Thanks, Opal. For Nadine Mehabir, our contact number in Jamaica, it is 876-754-4391. That's 876-754-4391. In Canada, it is 1-416-249-5885. That's 1-416-249-5885. Our email address is info@cdnintl.com. Thanks, Miss Nora. Have a great week, everyone, and hopefully see you next week.
Thank you so much, ladies. Oh, Opal, I need to send you the information for you to send on my Thanksgiving dinner that you would have packaged for me to right.
I'm sorry, I posted my story on Facebook. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious.
Right, so I'm gonna send you the info to just get my package to Jamaica. Thank you. Oh, and Kevin in my ear is saying us. So it's multiple packages. Thank you so much. We'll send that later.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies. Do enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week. We'll do it again next week, Monday. That's all for Immigration Mondays and the Consumer Hour this morning. Making way now for Cliff Hughes Online.
That was the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
They've lost homes.
Everything is gone.